Hi, everyone. We are so excited to be back. I missed everybody so much last week. I don't know about everybody else, but 2 weeks is too long. So anyway, we're back, and we'll just go through real quick, and I'll introduce ourselves. We are going to be having Chris on the show. He'll be joining momentarily. But my name is Helen Kinson. I am merch boss, and I am grateful this week because I got to meet my first Merch Money member. I got to meet Victoria today for coffee, so that was awesome. So Michelle, you're next.
Well, I'm Michelle Wentworth, and I'm Merch Mama, and I am so grateful that I got to attend the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference this past week out in Denver. It was awesome. Travis Ross and Paul Witter put on a great conference each year. And there was a lot of merch talk going on. So I really feel grateful that I got to go. So, and can I just give a shout out to Zillist? Because I'm wearing the winning tee for Merch Mama.
Yes.
Here's my shirt. I love it. It's got the lucky cat.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I put the descriptions for all the shirts in or the links for all the shirts in the description. But unfortunately, I think Amazon's really behind this week. I noticed delays with uploads. I noticed like with getting shirts approved. And then we all ordered the shirts on Wednesday and only 2 of them came, right? Brianna, yours didn't come?
No, mine hasn't come yet either.
Yeah, mine didn't come. So I'll wear mine next week, and I'm sure Brianna will wear hers next week, and Amy, Marketing Mayhem Girl, will wear hers next week. So just a little delay. But anyway, who wants to go next? Brianna?
Sure. I'm Brianna Moller Greene, and I'm a co-owner of VA Rentals. And my big positive for the week, I think, has been the clients that I've been able to work with. There's some really great clients that I'm currently talking to and working with on developing some things like Shopify store and growing their print-on-demand business. It's just fun to be able to see the excitement in them and help them.
Awesome. Did Luna introduce herself?
You want to introduce yourself? Not tonight?
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show, Luna. We really appreciate it. All right, Amy. Either one, whoever wants to go.
Texas Amy.
I'll go. All right, so my big win for this week is totally merch related, and it's kind of silly, but I had a shirt and somebody totally ripped off my design. Of course, they changed it just enough so that it won't, be pixel for pixel, but they misspelled a word. But I was still so bitter about this. And, but my shirt has given me $200.
Nice.
So I'm like, take that, you little copycat. That's my awesome win. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, and also Josh Greene, he won for me, Merch Marvel.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do too. Be careful with parody, guys, but it is a pretty cool shirt. So
that's like the most fitting shirt for you too.
Yeah, it kind of is, except like I'm not big into DC. I'm totally like a Marvel geek, but it's so neat. It is perfect. It is the perfect design for me. So I love it. Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm Amy Nicholas, and I am the Marketing Mayhem Girl winning shirt to come next week. For the week, a win for me. I'm just really thankful for all the people that have helped me along my print-on-demand journey. Like just tons of people I've messaged, on Facebook and groups, and people that just are willing to like share and give back. I feel like has really helped play a part in my own success. And I'm just really thankful to be able to give back through my print-on-demand daily Power Punch videos. And I feel like people are really like resonating with them, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback, and people are telling me I preach it now. So
I love your videos, Amy.
They're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I learned from your videos.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I just wing it, I feel like I'm a little more comfortable speaking on camera because I've done quite a few YouTube videos in the past, but I don't know, probably just the doing it every day thing has helped me. So, or Monday through Friday, which to me is kind of like every day, because the weekends are just like, who knows what's going on. But yeah, I'm excited to have Chris Blair on the show. He's just having a little bit of technical difficulty right now with Google Hangouts.
I think this will be perfect because I wanted to do a quick announcement.
Yeah.
So right before he comes on, I don't know about everybody, but I at least really want to do Merch Money meetups this year. And I did a poll in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, definitely join that. It's linked up in this video. But I did a poll to see what states everyone lives in. And if you just joined our Facebook group, it's in the units section. You just click on units, and then it's the very last unit. You just go all the way to the bottom and just say what state you're in, because the states that have the most people, I'm going to try to set up merch meetups. I live in Virginia, so there was only 2 people so far that live in Virginia, and one of them I met today, Victoria. She literally lives in my city, less than 10 minutes away. So that was amazing. I met up with her. But the next meetup is going to be in New Jersey this Saturday. It's going to be in Hoboken. So if anybody watching, if you live in anywhere near Hoboken, or if you live in New York City, definitely join the Facebook group and go to that meetup. I think we'll have a lot of fun. We'll all be able to just meet each other in person and talk about merch in person, be able to answer like specific questions that you might have with your own account. So looking forward to that. You guys. Oh,
yeah, I'm just trying to help Chris out because Alicia had the same problem with getting onto Google tonight. For some reason, it's wanting to crash every time he's logging in. So he's going to get on his phone. And yeah, we've got a bunch of questions for him lined up. But I'll give a quick intro for him. So Chris Blair, he was my very first business coach I ever hired. I came out the gate from doing Kindle publishing and wanting to jump into Shopify and running my own store and having a brand. And he just laid the steps out for me with one-on-one coaching and taught me all the basics of Facebook ads. And then as I got more into it, you know, the more advanced stuff. And I feel like I got like the best foundation from him in terms of learning what works, what sells, because if you're running Facebook ads, it's not going to be like a typical merch shirt, right? Where you could just have like text and things like that. You had to be a little bit more creative with what you were putting on your store. And that his methods of research, which I'll let him kind of get into a little bit later, but that gave me a solid foundation for like knowing how to go and find stuff for my niche, you know, niche specific things, whether I was looking on Pinterest or Google Images or, you know, maybe some other stores. But his way of doing research was, you know, a lot different from just the like, let's find what's selling and, you know, do our own spin kind of thing. It was more unique, be more original. And my best selling design I ever had on my Shopify store came from that exact method. And I'm talking something that I sold, gosh, thousands of units of on this particular design because it was very unique, right, for my niche, and nobody had thought to put the phrase that I did on a shirt. So yeah, so that was kind of how we got started together. But Chris has been doing, gosh, I think he started Teespring in 2014, and so he was just, you know, hitting it out of the park back when Teespring was like the go-to print-on-demand platform, right? And just crushing it. And he was one of their top sellers. I'll let him do the numbers because I don't remember exactly what they were, but he was really crushing it. And then he said, like, you know, he wanted the whole build a brand, have an asset, not be reliant on a platform that I think at the time Teespring's customer service was starting to go downhill a little bit. And I think that was probably about 2015 or 16. I'm not sure exactly when things shifted over there. But yeah, so he's hardcore with his Shopify print on demand. That's the only like platform type thing that he does. Chris actually doesn't do merch by Amazon, but his strategies, his techniques, and, you know, the whole having a social media following, having this ability to build your brand online, like I feel like that's, you know, his strength, and also understanding Facebook ads. His system of Facebook ads has been very like it's consistent, right? Because I've coached from other people and bought courses and training, and it's like 1 month this works and then the next month it doesn't, right? Because things shift on Facebook, but he's found ways to keep going with it. I'm just checking my message. He's still having trouble getting on. Amy,
Well,
did you try anything else when you got on your iPhone?
I updated and then got right on, no problem.
Yeah,
but it will
there we
not
go.
work on my iPad.
Yeah,
Which is
that's what
really
he's trying to get on the iPad.
aggravating.
And it's not working at all. Every time he clicks on the link, it just crashes.
Yep, same here. I even reinstalled it. I rebooted everything, but
Yeah.
updated on my iPhone and it's working.
So you updated the app, or you updated like the settings on the phone?
Oh, I just updated the app on my iPhone.
Okay. I'll just let him know that real quick. Yeah, so kind of filling the lull.
Well,
if
while
anybody
we
wants to-
do that, let's shout out some people that are watching. CM Elizabeth is watching, and they are a duo team that was one of the winners this week. So unfortunately, the shirt didn't come in yet for them, but we'll wear it next week. Glenn Ruffner's watching, who is my dad. So,
Helen's dad.
yeah, he is a loyal watcher every week. So I appreciate it.
That is so cute.
He actually just opened an account, so it's pretty good.
Fantastic.
He knows a lot about computer programming and stuff like that. So he's thinking about maybe seeing if he can make different programs that would help with merch. So
Hey, get in on that niche too. That's a good
if you
one to
guys
design for it too.
Yeah, if any of you guys have things that you wish existed, just let me know. We'll tell him to make it. So, Doreen Weekly's on. Joyce Sawatsky, thank you guys for watching. Laura Burke, she's awesome. Her POD group.
Yes, that's a great group.
Yes, POD squad, guys. Who else? Planet Junebug, Brandy Lazowski. Everybody say hi and make sure you click the like button. We want to be able to say hi to you.
Got a very active chat going on there.
I know, right? Merch Dad rocks. Yes, he does.
That's gonna be your dad's like thing.
I'm trying to get my dad to come to the meetup, so we'll see if he does. But whoever goes to the Hoboken meetup, maybe you'll be able to meet my dad.
I sense a T-shirt contest for Merch Dad.
That would be a great idea. I was trying to think of what to do for this coming week.
I think that would be
Dad.
awesome.
Awesome. And then my brother opened an account also, and he has already sold his first 10 shirts. So I'm very proud of him.
All right, that's good. And contest after Merch Dad is Merch Bro.
Merch Bro.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
My dad said he'll buy one or two. We're making these for you, Dad. So anyway, I think, Amy, we can just start asking the questions to you because you're his prodigy. So you'll probably be able to answer in his place.
Roll with it.
I would just start with one of the first questions that people asked in the Facebook group, and then
that's a great idea.
There.
Okay, so Helen, your question about building the brands for merch, like when you have many different niches. So Chris's whole thing, he told me you might even have to spend like a week picking like one solid niche, you know. And this is more for like if you're going to go with building a Shopify store or like WooCommerce or something. But he basically said like take your time, you know, pick something that you would love to basically be married to, right? Because you're going to be doing it forever, hopefully. And I think from what I remember, he said he took like a week and he picked something that he was truly passionate about, which is the beer niche. And he was just like, it just stuck, right? I mean, he's coached other people where they've changed niches a couple of times just because they, you know, once they try putting Facebook ads out there and things like that, you know, things might change a little when you realize your audience is like 100,000 people and you need like 2 million to run ads, right? So yeah, like when he was coaching with me, I was one of the people that changed niches. I was like, oh, I'm here one day, and then I'm like, well, my domain name is kind of generic. I could probably just switch everything. He was like, yeah, if you're not happy with what you're doing, you know, just pick what you want to do and go and do that. So that was important, though, the fact that he said really take your time on picking that. And I think for merch, like I would never personally be in just one niche if I was on merch, just because I like to spread out and be in a couple of things. But I do think now more than ever, the time is starting to come where people need to like pick, you know, I don't know if it's like 5 to 10 or, you know, just don't overwhelm yourself with like 80 niches, right? And then try to fill all those niches all the time. I think it's good to pick less than a dozen at least. And just
so do you have like, let's just say the brand is Helen's T-shirts. I mean, we'll just pick something. Like, do you do like Helen's camping T-shirts, Helen's cat T-shirts? Like, do you do like some kind of overarching brand and then change it per niche? I'm trying to remember. Like, I was kind of trying to brand myself on merch, and I was still getting people like literally ripping off the brand name, even though it was like really unique.
That just happened to me. Somebody ripped my brand, but added another word to it. So when you do a search for my brand, this person's come up with mine.
There's a merch mama imposter out there.
There is.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of discouraged me because I'm like, I mean, I actually had a hard time getting merch to remove the copycat, even though, I mean, it was pixel for pixel copycat, and it was also everything copied to the letter, brand, title, description. I thought it was my own shirt. I was like, wait a minute, did I post 2 of the same shirts, you know? And I'm like looking at the price, and I'm like, oh no, I would never price that low. And so the only way I was able to get it taken down, which is baffling because their shirt was put up like 6 months after mine, was to send a link to my Shopify store. So I'm actually telling people right now, you should have a Shopify store, because the only credibility that merch seem to accept for me, and this has happened like 2 or 3 times now, is when I give them a link to my Shopify store. And I just say, hey, this is my shirt.
And plus, I think, you know, I harp about it all the time, but I think it's important for people to always be considering having their designs elsewhere too. I mean, don't just stop at Merch by Amazon, and Shopify kind of helps in the way that you're describing, but also helps you to establish a brand and maybe get some traffic and some sales off of, you know, the Merch by Amazon platform too. You know, why not?
Yeah. Real quick, I have to interrupt this broadcast to say congratulations to Lance, right? L. Bentley's Lance, right?
Yeah, Lance.
Lance, he just tiered up to 500, so we got to congratulate him.
I think it's like a good last time for people getting tiered up.
Like, I know, I've been hearing it everywhere. He said he is definitely going to upload his 50 shirts today, so congratulations.
Awesome.
So,
nice. Congrats.
Yeah. And then Laura Burke is saying that she goes back and forth with the brands and the keywords. And I kind of do the same thing. It's kind of hard to know what Amazon's looking for and what will do the best. But I understand where Amy's coming from about building a brand for Shopify. Like, if you're going that direction where you really want to build your own brand, that's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's much more time consuming in the sense of you got to be on top of your social media. You got to be on top of running traffic in a sense, or at least interacting with your audience. You know, like my one fan page, I've got, I think like 24,000 likes on it. And I've been bad about it lately. I have not been posting anything. I tried to like put something content wise, and Chris is really big about content, you know, on your fan pages for Facebook, and basically like posting once or twice a day something related to your niche that they would like either think was funny or
Do
cute,
Do you use something to help with that? Like, do you use Hootsuite or something like that?
No, because he actually discouraged me, saying that it was way better for the Facebook algorithm for you to get, you know how when you have page likes, only like, what, 2% of your likes actually see your posts, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you use bots and things like that,
oh, is he here? He's
here!
I'm having I got a mini computer on me. I was going to use my phone or my iPad, but neither one of them work. I'm having to hold the mini computer, so the camera shoots up. I'm having to hold it this way. But anyway.
Well, Amy was doing a fantastic job filling in for you. She is a prodigy.
Maybe I'll put my bag. I got my backpack here. I'm sitting in the park. I can prop up my mini computer. It's a tiny little white, lightweight, 1 kilo computer.
I'm so glad you had that, because I don't know why the iPhone worked for the other Amy, and then for you it didn't. So I don't know.
I had my iPad and my iPhone. I had the app installed on both of them. I didn't anticipate any problems. Anyway.
Wow, crazy. Yeah,
well, I'm here. I'm
just
very late, but thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
I kind of did your brief intro, and then they were like asking the questions towards me, but yeah, Helen, which question were we on? The very first one?
Okay. Well, basically, we're turning over Amy is going to be leading this interview because she took Chris's class or learned from him. So take it away, Amy.
Quick question is I'm sort of holding the computer up because it points up. Is it angling okay?
Yes, we can see you. Yeah.
Yep. I can hear you too. I'm just going to start with Avis's question on our post for today with the questions. Avis asked, what would be the first thing you recommend to someone just starting out to build a brand?
The first thing you want to think about is what your niche is going to be. I mean, that's critical, right? I mean, what is it going to be? I don't recommend a general store at all. There's a lot of people who do this general store method where they open up a general store and they'll grab a product from that niche, a product from this niche. And really that's playing what I call product roulette. You don't really know a lot about any of these niches and you're just getting lucky. And do some people get lucky and get a big winner that way? And look in the Facebook groups. Some of these groups have 40, 50,000 people selling on Shopify. And there's one, occasionally you get someone who does that. Well, when that large masses of people are throwing darts at a board, someone's going to get a bullseye. That's just the reality. But it's not a systemizable business process, right? What really is important is that you understand your niche so you can create winner after winner after winner after winner. So the first thing you want to determine is what's your niche going to be. Now, a common mistake I think a lot of people make is they think, okay, what is the most profitable niche? And that's not always necessarily the right approach, because think about this, right? You're going to have to work that niche day in and day out. You're going to have to get an understanding of your customers, right? And if you're just going after a profitable niche, you could often make a mistake, right? And I've seen a lot of people fail that way. I have, for example, one guy, I can go ahead and mention, he doesn't mind. He's in the Polish American niche, right? A tiny niche, but he's a Polish American and he really understands that niche. All right. He grew up with it, right? And he's able to associate and understand people and come up with product ideas that work for them. And he's making a killing in that niche, even though it's literally 2.5 million people total on Facebook. Wow. Right. So, I mean, now he's outside of that small niche. He's got to turn over new products all the time because it's not really scalable. You can't really sell 40,000 units in such a small marketplace. But anyway, that's the point. So then ask yourself is, what am I into? I highly recommend you go into something that you personally have a natural affinity for. And for example, Amy's now really into karate, right? She's got, what's your belt now, Amy?
Blue black. I'm like more than halfway to black belt.
How exciting!
Awesome.
So, I mean, ask yourself, what do you have affinity for? That's number one. Okay. And then number two, you want to start to analyze market size, right? Is the market big? Now, ideally, I mean, I just give an example of the Polish American niche, very small, 2 million people. That is not really what I would recommend unless you truly believe you can, you're passionate about that. And then, yeah, you can go for a small niche like that. But ideally, I think you want something that's at least 5 million or more people targetable on Facebook. So what you would do is you just go into Facebook and you'd put in your broad target. So for example, in my case, beer, say 23 to 64, male, female, United States, how many? If it's 5 million or more, you're definitely golden. Now, as I just said, it can be less. You can get away with less, but you're going to have to turn over a lot of products. You're going to have to be getting new winners constantly because they're not so scalable with a smaller audience like that. So number one is, what are you into? Number two, 5 million or more. And number three, and this is not necessarily a deal killer. I've had students go into niches. In fact, I have one right now. When he said, "Here's a niche I want to go after," I'm like, I didn't even know that existed. And then we went into Facebook, and it was like 4.5 million people. And he's like, "Yeah, this is my hobby," and I'm not gonna say what it is. And I mean, you guys see, I'm posting results of recently of this one coaching student who's crushing it, and that's him. I mean, it was a niche I didn't even know existed. We couldn't find one fan page on Facebook that was selling anything. There was a few fan pages that were hobby pages related to this, but not a single fan page selling anything. So I'm like, dude, I don't know. I mean, it might work. I mean, we can try it if you want to try it. If it doesn't work, we can move on to something else after a couple months. And he said, okay, let's do it. And it's working. It's working like charm because he's a pioneer. He's the first one doing it. But so again, this third part is a principle, but not a rule. You can break this principle if you feel passionate, you want to do it. But you ideally want to find a couple couple fan pages, at least maybe 3 or 4 fan pages that are, one, active recently, right? That's the key. Active recently. Okay. Number 2, selling stuff, right? And you want to see on their posts they're getting a lot of comments and likes. That is a profitable niche that you can go in and get your slice of. Right now, you have to obviously work hard and find your angle to get in there, but you can get a piece of that. I mean, when you think when I joined the beer niche, it wasn't competitive. In fact, I had people. I was in this high-level mastermind thing, and I went to New York this event, and I told people I want to go in the beer niche. I had people around the mastermind. This is our experience. I was sort of laughing. Like, Chris, man, that's a hyper-competitive niche. You sure you want to go into that? Like, you know what? I know this niche. I love this niche. I can relate to these people. Absolutely, and it's worked for me. Just because it's that's the thing. I had that opportunity.
I just want to interrupt for 1 second. There was a question Dan Wentworth asked, could you repeat where you find the information about searches on Facebook?
Searches? No, I said you search Facebook for fan pages that are selling stuff. Okay. Are you talking about audience sizes?
I think the audience size. I think that's what he meant.
Maybe you just go into Facebook Ads Manager. If you haven't set up an ads account, you want to go to business.facebook.com. business.facebook.com. Then you want to create an ads account. You can create up to 5 ads accounts, and you can even get more if you ask special permission. Once you create an account, you want to go and create an ad. Obviously, you're not going to create the ad because we're just testing out to see the market size. Then you put in there's certain demographics you can put in, right? Male, female, age, country. So then you want to put in male, female. Just go ahead both. United States. I'm assuming that's your country, United States, 23 to 64, and then put in your biggest, broadest keyword. I mean, you don't worry about this. This is not about precise targeting for advertising. This is just to get a sense of how big the potential market is. So just put in in fact, you could even pile up 2 or 3 broad words, right? For example, I might put in beer, brewing, the most popular beer being Bud Light. See what kind of potential reach I can get.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
You. Yes, thank you.
Did you have anything more on that, Chris, about the brand?
Oh, sorry. We were talking about, So what you want to do is you want to find other fan pages that are selling stuff recently. If you can find it. And by the way, there's another thing you want to look at. I give you an example, okay? There was one particular niche. Actually, you know what? I probably can go and say it because it didn't work out. There's one particular niche was some guy wanted to do an apparel store related to being passionate about being a New Yorker. Okay, there's been other cities out there that people have been successful with. Like there's a couple, I know a fan page is very successful, and it's not mine. So the student is someone else's. But anyway, Boston related stuff, right? And they started off that after the Boston bombing, and they built this Boston passion page, and they're making a lot of money with that. And there's other cities. So he said, oh, they're making money with that. Let me, I'm from New York. I live in New York. Let me try to make a New York page. And I asked him, I said, hey, do you see a lot of people around New York? Because I've been in New York. I don't see a lot of people wearing stuff. I love New York. I mean, they sell in the store, and tourists seem to be buying it, but New Yorkers and stuff are not really buying that stuff. Are you sure this is something you want? So I said, let's go find another page, and we found only one. And here's the interesting thing: that fan page had reached 50,000 fans, but they hadn't posted something in 7 months.
Ooh.
That's a bad sign. I mean, if they had worked that business up to 50,000 fans on the page, I'd have to go back to the first post, but that tells me that those people put in at least 6 months to a year's worth of serious effort into that niche, and they gave up because they hadn't posted for 7 months. So then this guy in my message said, I want to try it anyway. And then after like 1 month, he was like, man, I haven't sold shit. Like a couple sales here and there. This is obviously people are not. So, that's an opposite sign, right? If you go and you find all you can find is people who've given up, and you can't find any winners at all, that is not good either.
Yeah. Yeah, don't make that mistake.
Sorry, what?
I said, don't make that mistake. Because some people are like, I know you felt this, where people are very, like stuck on the niche, and they're like, no, it's going to work. But they don't want to look at the facts staring at them in the face.
Yep. No, so I totally agree that you should go after a passion thing, but also you got to look at the facts staring you in the face. Yep.
Yeah.
And the other thing about, that reminds me of something else. This is a sort of separate topic, but one of the biggest mistakes that people make in this business is they spend too much money in advertising costs testing products, right? They just, this is going to work. This is going to work. And they will spend a lot of money, $50, $100 testing a product, not making any sales. And that adds up, because this is a question about testing a lot of products, right? So that'll add up. I mean, you got to cut. I teach a whole system of how you can test cheaply. And that's really important, because you can save yourself a lot of money in testing losses. A lot of people don't realize how important that is, but that is massively important.
Yeah, agreed. Avis also asked, in your opinion, which Shopify apps do you think are essential for a brand or a niche store?
For a brand store?
Yeah, for a brand store. Just like, which Shopify apps do you think are essential? Must have.
There's a certain apps that are essential. There's only a few of them, actually. Number one, Fraud Finder. I haven't had a lot of potential fraud issues. In fact, I only really had one the whole time I've here. One guy tried to order a bunch of stuff from my store, and we got it. Fraud Finder was great because it marked those as scam orders, and it's a free app that's going to cost you a dime. So you want to install that. Shopify makes that available to anyone. It's a Shopify app, and they make it available to everyone because they realize how important it is to protect against fraud. The next app you want to get is an app called Image Optimizer. Okay, this is really important. Okay, this is cheap as well. 1 cent per image. Okay, so every image that you're going to upload, you just want to go ahead. What I suggest you do is you load $10 or $20 on Image Optimizer the moment you install the app, and just automatically have it image optimize everything. So what's going to happen is especially if you work with good POD suppliers like Custom Cat and some of these others, they will generate high resolution mockups, which is what you want, but they're heavy and it can slow down your site in a hurry. And the number one conversion killer is site speed. Write this down. Okay? If your site is not loading in 3 seconds or less, you have a serious problem, and you should not waste a single dime on advertising. People will bounce in a heartbeat. Okay, you've got to get your site speed down. Okay, and there's numerous things you can do. You play with the coding and the RSS feed, but the easiest way for anyone who doesn't know anything about coding or anything, or doesn't have access to a developer, is to compress your images. So you're going to load these images up. Okay, right? It's going to automatically load through Custom Cat or whatever supplier you're working with, right? T-Launch or whatever it is, and they're going to be high resolution images. So you want to compress them, right, with Image Optimizer. For most people, that will work. It's very rare I've seen a situation where that doesn't compress enough to keep the load speed below 3 seconds. But if you do have the issues, you're probably gonna have to either get rid of some product on your store, right? So you have less product, right? Which is not a bad thing. A lot of people think that they should load their sites with tons of product, and that is absolutely not necessary. In fact, to be honest, right now on my side, I've got too much product. I got to go get rid of a lot of it, right? Less is actually more. You know, you want, for example, you know, say men's shirts, you want maybe 20 different styles, right? You don't need hundreds. You don't need it, right? So the one thing, so if you have speed issues even after running Image Optimizer, then you're going to want to start deleting some products, right? If you have speed issues after that, then you're probably going to have to start messing with the coding and the RSS feeds. And so you're probably going to have to get a developer to help you with that. But just what you want to work on is what's called the RSS feed. And if you have no idea what that is, I know it is. I can't do. This is something you want a developer. So you may be screwed at that point and have to go for a developer. But anyway, the two things that anyone can do without any technical knowledge is, one, run that app to compress the images. Two, just get less product on your store. Delete the stuff that's not selling, or hide it at least. You don't have to delete it. You can hide it so it doesn't appear on the store.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I do the Amazon and Shopify integration, so a lot of my products are hidden. So that's good to know about that. That's
good. And then the other app that I recommend, there's only one more that I absolutely think is essential, is an app called Tractor. Actually, there's another one. There's probably a second one. There's two more that are essential. This one is $15 a month. It's a tracking app. So it provides tracking for your customers. It's really important. It gives them a better customer experience. It increases their chance of them coming back and buying from you again. But the other thing is a lot of people don't realize this, but having the tracking there, right? A lot of people go, especially people who are very interested in shopping, well, they'll scroll around your site for a little bit. And I've seen it because I've installed apps in which I've viewed people's actions on my store. And they will go, especially the serious buyers, they will go look around. And then they'll go back to the page they were going to buy. Right. And they see the tracking, they see this tracking or order lookup. It gives them more confidence to purchase. It builds trust. So they'll buy. So this app not only provides you a better customer service, increase your chance of them come back and buying from you because you have the tracking and it mails out the tracking. But also it increases the chance of a front end sale as well. Okay. And the last app I recommend is an app called Pixel Perfect. It's a really, really good app. It'll get your pixel fire more accurate. Facebook's Pixel with the Shopify native integration is so-so. I mean, it does work, but there's a lot of misfires and some missing data. Sometimes it just doesn't fire. Pixel Perfect will fix that, and plus Pixel Perfect will provide you what's called a product feed. Okay, so it'll pull all of your products from your store automatically and create a feed. So you can create what's called dynamic retargeting ads. So if you don't know what a dynamic retargeting ads is, so you ever go to your merch people, you go to Amazon, right? And then next thing you know, you go to Google, you're seeing an ad for the product you saw on Amazon. Yeah. Or you see, go back to Facebook, you see an ad for the product you saw on Amazon. That's dynamic retargeting. Okay, so what's happening is they're tracking what you viewed and they're showing it back to you. Plus, there's more. It's even beautiful. The thing that's really cool about Facebook's retargeting, dynamic retargeting, Facebook starts to track what people buy in your store. So in the beginning, it'll show 3 to 5 products. It'll show the one you viewed and then 2 to 3 or 4 other random ones. But what will start to happen is Facebook will notice people who buy this product also viewed this product or bought that product. So it'll start to know over time which is more likely to also buy. So they will start to show that to your site visitors for you. It's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, it's like the Amazon customers who also bought kind of.
Yeah. So this is $30. So literally, I'm recommending $30 a month in apps, and 1 cent one time for your image optimization. So it's not a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
There's other apps and bells and whistles you can do, and you can start to get them once you start making sales and profit. But to get started, that's all you need.
Nice. Scott Griffin asks, he's got a couple questions. What does a typical day look like for you? In the world of print on demand. I know you do a lot of coaching now.
For me, it's different. Guys, I have my store and I'm still running my store, but as you guys maybe heard me say in the past, for some reason, I just enjoy the coaching and training more. So this is my main focus, to be honest with you. But I mean, and I'm still running the store with help with 2 staff members. But so my typical day is probably different than most people. But what I'd recommend is to people look, especially if you don't have a winning product, you want to focus on testing products. And by the way, not just testing and then just forgetting it. You want to learn from each test and analyze what went right, what went wrong, what was people's reactions. But you need to test 2 products a day. Absolutely two a day. You can take 1 day off a week, but 6 days a week, so that's 12 products a week. If you're doing that and you're learning from each launch, you will eventually hit a winner. It's impossible not to.
He said, Scott had a question, what was your biggest weakness with POD?
My biggest weakness with POD?
Yeah. I guess since whenever you started until now.
Wow. Biggest weakness with POD. Sold millions of dollars in sales. So, biggest weakness in POD. Maybe
like what you struggled with like initially.
Oh, okay.
When you first started.
I mean, what everyone struggles with, and what I struggled with initially seems that coming up with those first couple of winning products is difficult. Once you've done it a few times, you start to get understanding, then it gets easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes more of like a formulaic kind of process at that point, right? You kind of like know how you got to that level, and then you can just rinse and repeat each time.
You know what I love? You know what I love about this group? Let's see. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 6 is on the call.
Yeah. 5
and I'm the only male. That's awesome. This e-com niche is dominated by males. I don't understand that, but this is great. It's the opposite. I love that.
You can thank Helen.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Awesome.
Okay?
That's great.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've always. I mean, you go look just go look in any e-com Shopify or merch group. 90 to 95% of the people are male.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure because my earbuds just stopped working for some reason. I have no idea why. But real quick about that is I don't know why either, because I knew that there were women that were doing it, but for some reason they just blend in. Like they're not on YouTube as much, or they're not at conferences as much. So anyway, we're hoping to at least show that we're out there.
So here we are, right?
Here we are.
They're not.
And then also real quick, I just want to say we missed the question in the chat from CM Elizabeth. They make mock-ups for mugs. So they have all different unique ones that they make, and they are let's see, 80 JPEG 80 setting. Okay, I think they were asking that when we were talking about like pages loading and stuff like that. Like, is that size okay?
I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't remember the. Okay,
that's fine.
I don't think mugs would.
By the way, I wouldn't worry about it so much because you can upload the image and then compress it once it's loaded.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, because why downgrade a downgraded image? So
perfect.
Scott also asked, what's been your most rewarding accomplishment with print on demand?
Honestly, I mean, I get really excited when I see people making big results from what I teach. That gets me excited. I post about that a lot on my Facebook. Maybe too much.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, you followed the avenue that was like rewarding for you, instead of just like grinding it out like a lot of disgruntled Shopify store owners.
Actually, I got a successful store too. I mean, it could be bigger and better than what it is if I had more focus on it, but still going well, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah. What is your main way for finding hot products or well, he said hot niches, but we know you're just in one, so hot products for your niche.
There's numerous things I teach. I mean, in fact, I've got 8 hours of content on that in my Ecom Vantage course. So obviously I can't give you every technique. It's physically impossible in the 15 minutes left. But let me just give you one method that I think is really important. And that is, so for example, if let's say you want to sell t-shirts, hats, mugs, whatever, go search. For example, I'm in the beer niche. I will search funny t-shirts or funny hats or funny expressions or memes in the scuba diving niche or in the dog niche. Some niche completely unrelated to or I would search offensive t-shirt, right? Or something completely unrelated. And then I try to find something that's interesting, funny, or cool, and I try to twist it and tweak it to fit my niche. Okay. The reason why that works is because I can come up with a unique idea that's not being pushed out, in my niche, right? But the thing is, except for when it's a real cookie cutter expression, right? Where, for example, let's just say that, I just like beer. I just like whatever, XYZ and 3 other people, right? That sure has been done 100 million times in every single niche. And that's the other thing that's another reason why this idea that you have to know your niche is pretty important, right? You need to understand what people have been selling, or else you can't even recognize what a cookie cutter expression is, right? So first, get to know your niche a little bit and understand what people have been selling, what kind of expressions are common. Then search other niches to try to find ideas that you can tweak and twist back to your niche. That way you get something that's unique.
Yeah. I was kind of going over a little bit of what you had taught me before you got on, Chris. And I said, your research stuff was what really gave me a foundation, to understand print on demand and to go out there and find something unique and different versus just what everybody else is doing. Okay, I'm going to do my version,
Yeah. And you will make sales that way, but you won't find what I call a driver product. Okay. And this is the most important thing you got to remember about print on demand. Okay. To truly make a lot of money from paid advertising, you need what's called a driver. Okay. What I mean by that is, okay, no one went on to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest today to go shopping. Who did that? Just out of curiosity. Today.
I mean,
no one. All right. So now what you're doing is you're interrupting them today. You're interrupting them. Okay. Now, what will get them to go to your website and buy is a really cool, unique product that they find interesting for the expression, the slogan, the design, or whatever. Plus, it's something they're passionate about. Okay. That will get them motivated to go buy. Okay. And once they're on your website, they'll buy tons of other stuff. A good number of people will say, oh, they're now in shopping mode. Their mind changes. Thing is, if you just take an average product that might sell, okay, for example, I'll give you an example. I have actually, I think we did it now, but it sold with people in the past. It said Beer Me, right? Back about 1.5 years ago, we had that cap, okay? And that actually did pretty well. It did a few hundred sales, but mostly of them, from add-ons. In other words, people would go to my store to buy whatever, and they'd say, oh, that's a pretty cool app, I'll take that. Every time I tried, because I was like, man, why can't this is selling as an add-on? Why can't I get it to convert? I tried several times to get it to sell on Facebook directly from advertising, and every single time I lost money on it. Because that was not a driver. Yeah. It was something that people were like, cool. Oh, now that I'm buying this, let me get that too. Yeah. Type of thing.
It wasn't unique enough, you think? Like the phrase or?
Yeah, it wasn't unique enough. It's a pretty common expression in the beer niche. So, yeah, you need a unique, cool product driver that will get people motivated to go to your site to go shopping. And once they're on there, they'll buy the other stuff too.
Yeah. Especially in the holidays, right?
Especially in the holidays. Yes. Yeah. Even though shopping for Christmas.
Yeah. I'm just going to skim real quick. We had some more questions we probably won't get to, but let me think. What are some future things we should be on the lookout for in the world of print on demand, do you think?
Well, the thing that's beautiful, I think this is the best time to be in print on demand because right now the number of suppliers that we can work with is increasing. 2, the number of products that they offer is increasing. It's a beautiful time to be in print on demand. So start digging in and looking at what's out there and what's available, and start, offering some unique stuff. You absolutely can.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like print on demand is still in its like baby stages, toddler stages, maybe. It's just kind of getting going.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Awesome. Helen, you watching the YouTube comments? I'm kind of just on the Facebook.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I know we're. I don't know if Amy or Michelle or Brianna has a question. Do you guys want to ask questions? Just for yourself, your own questions?
I've been taking a lot of notes.
She's going to pull out the whiteboard.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This is really helpful. We really appreciate it.
No, I'm really sorry that I had to I missed like half the call. We can do another one in the future.
Well,
now that I know that
we can go a couple minutes over. I mean, we do an hour as a guideline, but I know like it's up to you if you.
It's up to you, Chris. No.
If you have a couple extra minutes, we're not trying to kick you off.
no, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I know I've been keeping pretty. I guess one person just asked the newest question is, please tell me a bit about how you do manual bidding.
How I do manual bidding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, there's like 4 techniques that I potential techniques that I use. Which one do we want to teach? The easiest one to use and implement, and also less of a double-edged sword, because manual bidding can be a double-edged sword. In other words, you know, it cannot work, or you can spend very quickly, because with manual bidding you want to use higher budgets, right? And just you monitor it quickly. You know, keep on top of it, because you can easily spend money just like that and not get anything out of it. But the easiest way to avoid that and to try to keep the conversion down is you would put a high budget, say $500 or even $1,000 if you have a hot winning product to a big target, right? For example, if let's say beer was converting, the keyword beer, it's like 40 million people, right? I know it's converting for this particular product, so I'd put a large amount of money on it, maybe 500, right? But bid low. So, I mean, a low bid, right? I mean, the default, the best average, it's an auction, right? And you never pay this much, or if you are paying this much, just stop your advertising. But the default is $30. That's the default. Facebook wants to say, okay, your cost per purchase auction is $30, right? Now, obviously, you're paying $30, you're losing money. The reality is you want to go, usually it'll come in and hopefully around 5 to 10, and I get those all day. But what I want to do is I want to try to go for the low-hanging fruit in that audience, right? Because it's a large audience, and this really only works on a large audience, like millions. But set the bid at like 22 or 23, and Facebook will barely spend, right? It'll, of the $500, maybe it'll spend 50 to 100 of it, but hopefully I can get some cheap conversions out of it, right? And slowly but surely edge up the bid $1 to try to increase the spend. By the way, if you, I mean, I honestly think that you should just stick to auto bidding unless you really have time to be monitoring your ads. Yeah. And you have some experience with advertising, because manual bidding is a complicated game.
You can refresh your screen and have spent like $50 in like a second.
Yeah.
No joke. This is a true story. Cool. I'm just going to grab a couple more questions from the Facebook group. Who do you look up to in the business world?
Who do I look up to in the business world? I like Les Brown.
Oh, I like him too.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
He's very positive.
Yeah, very positive.
I'm going to answer this one because I already know. Somebody asked if you had a general Shopify store, run many niche stores. Scott, Chris just has one niche store, and pretty much you kind of discourage people from general stores overall, right, Chris?
I'm not a big fan of general stores. Yeah. Just leave it at that. I don't recommend that at all.
At least for Shopify, right? Because that's like, you want to build your brand there and not be all over the map.
That's right. If you're going to be in Shopify, I suggest you a niche.
Yeah, agreed. I guess he was asking some advertising stuff. So Facebook, I'm pretty sure is still the main advertising for you right now. But what else are you experimenting with?
Instagram and Pinterest, we're experimenting with that. And Instagram does pretty well. Pinterest, we're starting to experiment with that as well.
Nice. Are you working on like building a following, or are you just running Instagram ads?
No, we're working on building a following as well.
Okay.
Both.
That's nice.
There was another question in the chat, and it said, how do you scale $5 winning ad sets? Do you increase budget on that ad set or duplicate them several times?
Neither of those. There's 14, Amy knows, and some of this is information that I only share with my mastermind members. I'm sorry, but there's 14 different ways that you can set up multiple different types of ads and individual ad sets. They're all unique. The easiest way, and I'm going to give you this one, is called it's called expand scaling. And it's just as the name implies. So just start digging deep and testing out new targets. New target, new target, new target. It can be a lookalike audience. It can be interest. It can be a demographic. It could even be a behavioral. The behavior's performance is so. But literally $5 ad, $5, $5, $5. If you just start expanding out over different targets, you can create a large number of ads, and it adds up fast.
That strategy worked really well for me. Q4, not last year, but the year before, when I was heavily into the ads. But every day I'm on Facebook looking for new interests. You know?
It works. There's other ones too, but that's the one I'm going to talk about today.
Nice. Was there any other things popping up on YouTube there, Helen?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Let me just see if I see any more questions. When starting a brand or niche store, in your opinion, is it a good strategy to offer 10% discounts and or giveaways to attract customers? I have signed up to a fairly new e-commerce store, and they constantly email promotions and discounts. To me, that doesn't seem good.
I don't think it's good to be hitting people with promotions all the time. No, I broadcast about once or twice a week. I know other stores and other people do broadcast almost daily. I think that's a bit much. It annoys people. So yeah, I like to do a quick promo about once a week and I'll send out one or two emails on it. So I know I don't really necessarily agree with that. And I also don't agree, and I don't recommend. You guys have probably heard of this. Is more of a drop shipping model, but have you heard of the free plus shipping thing? Yeah, people will buy some, get some cheap trinket off of Shopify and give it, eBay or AliExpress, and free, but then they only pay shipping and they mark up the shipping. I've done that in the past in 2015, and I know a lot of people who have done it, and it just attracts the wrong type of buyer. Mm-hmm. They don't become repeat customers anyway. So I don't really recommend that method. So no, I mean, offering some discount on your normal price products, that's fine. That attracts the right type of person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like if it's all the time, like there's constantly a sale running or something, then maybe that's conditioning customers that your stuff is cheap or not worth the regular price.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I think that was all the questions in the Facebook group. If anybody has any last minute questions for Chris, throw them in the chat. I'm not seeing anything new, so.
Chris, do you want to just talk a little bit about your coaching or a little about
exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You said it perfectly.
I can't just sit back and be quiet. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, some of you may or may not know, but I have a program. It's not just a course. It's a group called Ecom Vantage. So it's a very, very detailed course. We cover everything, products in detail, site setup, Facebook advertising, SEO, Google ads. I mean, Amy's in there. It's an incredibly detailed course. I've spent a year putting it together. In fact, to be honest, to properly put it together, I couldn't even do it myself. I had to bring in 7 experts to help me teach areas. Like, for example, I think you made Teresa Rose, but she's quite well known for Pinterest. She did the Pinterest section of the course. I mean, I'm not qualified to teach Pinterest, and I never pretend I am. So that's why I brought her in. And people are getting results. And the thing about it, one thing that's unique about Ecom Vantage over other courses is the Facebook group. But this is not, and how I say this is really important because I don't want to be critical of other Facebook groups, but I know for a fact that this Facebook group is unique, and people tell them all the time, they get in there like, wow, this is amazing. Every question gets answered. That's one of the things that it's important. Every question gets answered. Plus, every week I do a live stream in there. Amy's seen them where I answer Q&As. So it is an interactive mastermind. And the thing about what's really cool about this is by the fact that I'm so active in there answering questions, it's created this culture, and other people are active in there. So it's a course, it's a mastermind group, all in one. And if you're interested in getting it, Amy, you have your
I've got a link on the YouTube channel right in our description here, and I think I also have it on our post in Facebook group with the questions. So,
okay. So you can go there and get it. I mean, it's not a cheap course, but I can tell you people are getting results. I mean, the guy I posted just yesterday who did $640,000 in sales in May, he's a member of the group.
Crazy.
So, I mean, that's
how long has he been doing it? Because I just heard about that.
A couple of years. He's been in the game a couple of years. But anyway, I mean, there's tons of people getting results with this course of mastermind. So I have absolutely no doubt that it's worth it. We've had over 270 people join. And of the 270 people joined, we've had one refund request. And the guy literally got sick 2 days after he joined. He says, I'm going to the hospital. And that's what he said. I don't know if that was the real reason. But the point is, I mean, it's an astonishingly low refund rate. So that tells me that, you know, maybe it's a little bit expensive. People are nervous when they first buy. When they get in there, they're like, wow, this is awesome. I'm so glad I made that purchase. In fact, I've had people say to me, I was on the fence for a couple months and I'm so glad I did it. But if you have any doubts at all and you want to go in there, just take a look. You can get in there 7 days. It's a 100% refund period. You're sick of your voice. I've listened to your voice too much in the videos. I don't want to be in this group anymore. And we'll refund you. So
there's so much content
7 days,
there.
You can refund for any reason.
Chris, I haven't even gone through it all, and like it was really helpful for me because it was like all our coaching put into like a little module because you don't remember everything when you're having a conversation, and even if you take notes, you're like, what the heck does that mean? Yeah, guys, it's really in depth, and it's not just for Shopify, you know, like the stuff that he teaches in there, the strategy, the marketing. It's if you ever want to build a brand of any kind, you know, that's the content is there to help you do so.
In fact, we do have a couple of people who have WordPress sites and they actually own their own physical store. One person in Texas and one person in New York. They actually have a physical store that they've been running for years, and they decided they wanted to start online. And they heard about my course. I don't know how, but they bought in, and they're getting results. I know they're getting results because they told me. That is one thing we have. And then lately, I've been getting a lot of requests to reopen my thing. I don't know if you guys. I had a lower end option. It was only $100 called the Top Hat Challenge. I sold it for like a week. This is more aimed at like true beginners. It's a mini course. It doesn't come with any Facebook group. There's no. I'm sorry. I can't offer that group support at that price point. It just doesn't make sense for my time and effort. But doesn't come with any of that. But it's just a mini course to get you started. It's all about selling hats, and hats are hot sellers, right? So it teaches you which hats to sell, how to position them, how to set up your Shopify store, how to run advertising. It's a mini course to get people started. And I've been getting a lot of requests to reopen that because people are getting results with it, and the rumors are going around is good. So I just thought about, you know what, I don't want to sell this permanently because it was more of an introductory course, but it's for newbies or for people who've been struggling, who've not getting any results at all, like for the last several months, even though they've been in this business. And we're going to reopen that on a 72-hour sale. And in fact, I'm waiting for the guy, the person who told me just to open that up. We will have that available for sale in a few hours. And Amy, you'll have a link for that.
Yeah, I'll post it in the group and on the Helen. I'll give it to you to put it in the show notes. Okay.
So you're interested in that? You can get in there.
And that's the one you're just. It's called Top Hat because you're teaching people like the hats that are selling well.
It's all about selling hats.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, I use hats. Then I create a formula. It's a formula on how to sell these hats for you. It's the idea is to get you started, to get to finally get your first success. I mean, it says on the sales page, the goal is to help you make your first $1,000 profit with your Shopify store, so I mean, this is not an in-depth mastermind course, but actually the feedback I was a little bit when I first brought it, I was like, I wonder how this is going to be. People are going to get how this is going to work, right? I just wanted to see and we had 150 people buy and. People, they're loving it. In fact, some of the people upgraded the Ecom Vantage shortly after. They were happy with it. So, and they're getting results. It's a very, very simple formula. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I mean, you can be up and running with Shopify store this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what people need, especially as a beginner.
Yeah,
give me the steps.
Get it going.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions we had from Facebook, and appreciate everybody pitching in and asking the questions there.
Thank you so much for being on, Chris. It was so nice.
No,
thanks,
no
Chris.
problem. I'm happy to come back and do it again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Sorry, I was late. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anything else, Amy?
That's it for me.
Anybody have any last questions or anything? No?
Matt says thanks.
Well, we're so happy to be back. Yeah, we're so happy to be back. It was a long 2 weeks, but we'll be back on Monday. And I think I'm going to still be I'm going up to New Jersey this weekend for the meetup and to see my family. But I think I'm still going to be there on Monday. So we might be able to have a chance to get Merch Dad on the YouTube show. So I think that would be perfect to do the Merch Dad t-shirt contest, because maybe we can get him to have it by Monday.
Merch Dad is Helen's dad.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks so much, guys. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the like and share this video, and definitely join the Facebook group. And if you live anywhere near Hoboken, New Jersey, come meet up with me on Saturday. It'll be a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.